The way I like spent so long just setting up the angle for this video, and I completely forgot about extremely precariously balanced on the side of the sofa. I mean, I left it to brew too long, and now I've overbrewed a tea just because I was worried about setting up the angles for this video, and now I have an overbrewed tea, and it's no longer golden hour. So hey, there you go. I guess it's kind of on topic, radical acceptance. Yeah, I'm spitballing this. I don't have a script for this video. I just wanted to make a video on this because I check the bio of my YouTube. Like, I just like talking shit. But even if I'm uploading glacially months at a time, it's probably just going to be shit like this. I don't know if I'll ever go off a script. I've been thinking about it a lot the past month or so, and I've heard of the concept of like optimistic nihilism, and I've heard of similar concepts before, but the specific video that really spurred this path, I guess, in terms of me thinking about it a lot, was Dacia Sade's video on it, which I will link. Apologies if I'm butchering your name. Your video is so good. And the video touches on a lot of concepts, I think, in terms of how we got into this mess. I'm not gonna run off the key points of that video, but it does sort of boil down a lot of the reasons why people are so unhappy in the economic system we all live in, and why radical acceptance is such like a great way of dealing with that for so many people. I wanted to talk more about the film Only Yesterday, a Studio Ghibli film, early 90s, directed by Isao Takahata, who also did another film I only watched for the first time this month, Grave of the Fireflies, which is significantly more soul destroying than Only Yesterday. I mean, I call films delightful a lot, but this movie is just like the Everest of pure soulful delights. It's if you haven't seen it before, I will talk about it slightly. Please, if you haven't seen it before, it is on Netflix in the UK. I'm presuming it will be on Netflix where you are, but hey, if you want to watch it any way you want to watch it, then by all means. We follow this woman, Taiko. She's going to visit her sister's in-laws and help out with the harvest of a safflower, I think it is. As she's making this journey and as she's doing the work, traveling there, we learn more about her experience growing up. We sort of zoom in on her life as a 10-year-old, and the experiences that made her who she is. One thing that is made clear throughout the film is not just how this character performs this idea of radical acceptance as an adult, but also as a child as well. There's quite a few rough topics covered in the film. How she deals with puberty, being slapped as a child, how she deals with this opportunity that's given to her as a child and is sort of taken away because her dad doesn't approve. There's this really good sequence, it's very early on in the film, where they are trying this pineapple for the first time, and it is a disappointment to her and her family. She is just this beacon of acceptance. If you don't put your own self-interest forward a little bit and you just sort of accept, like you sort of absorb all of this as a sponge, and you don't really stick up for yourself, it can have negative consequences. But at the same time, by the way she recounts these stories, you can feel the weight being lifted off of her. And as standards, like Ghibli films and their beautiful imagery, very picturesque countryside, livelihood, aesthetic has become obviously sort of hand in hand with wanting an escape from the city. If you live in a city, you know the feeling all too well. I think it speaks to this need to not only put your self-interest forward, but also to not attach yourself to previous suffering. It is very much a story about living in the now and making sure that you can have a firm grasp on these experiences and what they didn't contain, and the disappointment and the sadness that comes with that, whilst also putting your needs forward for the future. Purely on aesthetic alone, like a lot of Ghibli films, it does serve as this aesthetic escape, and I feel like as a viewer we kind of live vicariously through that as well. In a way, it's quite different to other Ghibli films, because it actively feels like it's maybe not interrogating, but it's speaking almost indirectly about our perception of that and our perception of that escape to the country. I highly recommend that you watch the video link below on optimistic nihilism, radical acceptance, but also Only Yesterday, and I hope you can find that connection that I've made there too. This has been a very spontaneous record for me. I've just finished work. I last uploaded 4 months ago, and I wanted to make a video because I need to get back into it. Come on, man. Yeah, I was watching the sun go down, and I was like, this is a nice moment, like just here, just now. And then, I don't know, I wanted to sort of bring that energy that I had going on into talking about movies. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe, but I'm going to accept it either way, because no, I'm desperate for likes.